this is going to be a bit of a rant, or maybe a bit of a rant. So I'm outside walking, trying to continue to take care of my health so I'm strong enough to get back into some weights more often. It's drizzling out. It's a British day, British grey day. So let's carry on. Let me preface real quick. So some of you might know, may or may not know, I'm a traditional naturopath and a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner. So my lens that I look through when it comes to health is slightly or very different than conventional doctors. In the sense that I look at health overall as a whole person. I don't just look at the lab work. I don't just listen to the symptoms. I like to look at it all. Symptomology, labs, and everything. So this is a bit of a rant because it's like, if I really didn't trust the conventional medical field before, I really don't trust them now. One thing I've really learned and really took a grasp and hold of is, I think it's in Genesis or Exodus, where, you know, in the commandments, talks about visiting the iniquities to the third and fourth generation to them that hate me and having mercy upon those, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, my thing is, I'm always looking for, how did it happen? When did it happen? In the beginning. I think that's a really good place to look. One thing I've noticed or recognized for myself is that my mom's side of the family, we could look really amazing. We aged gracefully. And, but on the inside, we tend to struggle with heart health and insulin resistance or diabetes. So when I came to that conclusion, that might have been about, so like I was saying, I came to this conclusion just to really be aware about, there's a controversy about hereditary, inherited, you know, diseases, or it's like your lifestyle, or it's like you're predisposed, but you can choose on what actually happens according to genetics. But I decided to really delve into, you know, health quite a few years ago, but more looking at lifespan and genetics and conditions about 4 or so years ago. And so I did earlier this year, because I run labs, whether it's functional labs, look at blood chemistry, nutrigenomics, nutrigenetics, see what people are predisposed to. So I did one on myself, because any good practitioner would try it on themselves first, so they can say, yep, I tried it, you know, I know what I'm talking about, not just theory because they read, but they've tried it on themselves. And so I found out that I am predisposed to insulin resistance, not cardiovascular disease, not late onset Alzheimer's disease, insulin resistance. I'm a night owl, duh, I know that, and some other things. Vitamin D deficiency, I think B12 as well. I'm like, okay, I knew that too, because I could be out in the sun when I was living in Southern California and I could still be D deficient. And my dad tends to be D deficient. And so insulin resistance, people don't really understand that hormone. You hear it, maybe you're kind of like, your eyes go like, or whatever, not really too clued up on insulin. Or it could be gaining a lot more traction because of like things such as PCOS or diabetes, you know, and stuff like that. So insulin resistance, there's many ways that one person can show signs of insulin resistance. And if you're predisposed to it, what precautions you can do to mitigate or lessen the chances or reverse. Because when I say reverse, I'm of the belief that anything, absolutely anything, can be reversed. There's many factors in how and why it can or may not be reversed, but I'm of the belief that the body can heal itself given that it's in the right environment and given the right stuff to do so. Anyway, insulin resistance, you know, some signs or some things that conventional doctors may overlook is fatty liver disease, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Now, it's not all this, you know, there might be some other reasons why you have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, but one of the reasons that you could is because you're insulin resistant, because the liver is like the grand central station of detoxification and keeping us healthy. And then it's just like sometimes too, having lots of refined carbohydrates, refined sugars, ultra processed foods, stuff like that. So these things can contribute to insulin resistance. And some blood markers looking a bit low or high, which is another indicator of insulin resistance. You know, when doctors tell you, oh, it's fine, numbers look good. Actually, I wrote a blog about that the other day, maybe a couple of weeks ago, about the difference between functional practitioners look at blood chemistry versus conventional doctors. So that's the lens, part of the lens I'm talking about, because some things may look normal. Complete thyroid panel or looking at TSH could look normal to the conventional eye, but to the functional eye, it's like we've got a microscope, a magnifying glass, and we look in and we see more, we investigate more. Numbers are more narrow than broad. Unfortunately, I forgot what I was saying. I got a little bit distracted looking at the rubbish on the side of the road. I hate seeing that. It's like you're driving through a nice country area, rural part of England, and then you see this rubbish because some city slicker, perhaps, or some dirty person decided to dump their rubbish on the side of the road. Ugh. Anyways, I forgot what I was saying now. But basically, we have a magnifying glass and we kind of do more investigation. And all of that is talked about in the blog that I did a couple weeks ago. And so I was looking at, this rant is going someplace, so stay with me. I was looking at my blood work my doctors always say, no, you're fine, you're fine. You know, in the States and over here, or they won't say anything over here. We won't go there, but over here. But I was looking at my blood work from summertime this year, and I was like, I feel different. You know, I don't feel as energetic. I'm tired. It's difficult to lose weight. I've done detoxes. I've did a H. pylori eradication. Might need to do one again. My husband and I did that. Been watching my hormones, been watching my thyroid and stuff like that. Not because I've ever struggled with thyroid issues, but, you know, not that I'm fully convinced that I am, but transitioning and going through perimenopause, your body changes. That's just how it goes. You know, I saw a post yesterday and it says, being a woman is not a diagnosis. I love that, because it's like, you go to the doctors, you say this, that, and the third, and the doctor's like, oh, you're a woman, these things happen, it's normal, it's natural, kind of brush it off. And it's like, because you're labeled as a woman, that's what it is. So looking at my blood work, I'm like, no wonder why I'm feeling more tired, you know, harder to lose weight. I'm gonna do some more blood work soon just to find out some more stuff, do some more investigation, get my magnifying glass and see what's really going on, because I'm just tired. It's difficult to lose weight and stuff like that. So my thyroid looks like it's struggling, and my liver is struggling. That doesn't really surprise me, because I had my gallbladder taken out quite a few years ago. Ignorantly got it taken out, and so no gallbladder means that the fats is difficult to be, you know, digested, so my liver has to work extra hard, blah blah blah. So the liver is struggling and some other stuff. So I was a bit ticked off, a bit sad, but oh no, you know, I saw on my nutrigenetic testing that I was predisposed to certain things, and now I'm seeing it. I'm just like, no, Jesus. But that means it's been going on longer than, it doesn't just, oh my gosh, it just happened. No, it's been a buildup. And so, while I may not have said all what I like to have said, the takeaway from this message is, ladies, take care of yourselves. Educate yourselves. Ask questions to your family. Any histories of cancer, late onset Alzheimer's, diabetes, whatever. Not that these things are genetic per se, but you might have a predisposition. And then get some tests done. Get some lab work done. And hire either a functional doctor, functional practitioner like myself, and get get ahead. Be proactive, not reactive, when it comes to your health, because it's your life, it's your responsibility, and you're empowered to hire and fire any doctor you want if they're not giving you the answers that you need to stay healthy. Genetic testing is great. Finding out what you're predisposed to and how to overcome it is great. I love running the Dutch test to find out the hormones with urine and spit. I also like doing blood work because you get to see the big picture. I like looking into the gut. Well, not really like dissecting, but getting lab works to look in the gut to see how the gut microbiome is going. Oh my gosh, I've got an amazing colleague. I'm always going to her with stuff. I used to call her the Terminator. Sorry. I used to call her the Parasite Queen because she is awesome when it comes to parasite eradication. But I'm like, that name, let's call her the Terminator because she's really good at sussing, and she's good at sussing and terminating, you know, parasites. And so I'm always bouncing ideas off of her. I'm like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And so she's awesome. And I've got other colleagues too that I might run things by. But get into a community. Let your voice be heard. Don't be hushed and shushed. And you're amazing. And some of the things that you're dealing with may not be your fault entirely. But education is key. And so when you find something out, be proactive in doing something to slow it down, to reverse it. You're in charge of your body. Don't let any doctor tell you that you have to. Do your research. You can go to University of Google, but of course be mindful, because oftentimes when you go to University of Google, they might tell you you've got cancer and you're going to die. So get a second opinion. Do something different. Eat something good. Cook from scratch. I know it takes a lot of time in this age of fast and yesterday. Everything is pre-done, but all those pre-done things could be laden with like sugar, seed oils, and just stuff that you don't need. So this is my appeal to you, is to take care of yourself, invest in your health, invest in you, because health is a luxury that you deserve and you're worth it. All right, that's all for me.